Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The Miami Dolphins find themselves at a critical crossroads in the 2025 NFL landscape, and it all begins with the quarterback position. Tua Tagovailoa, a player I've admired since his Alabama days, has shown flashes of brilliance, but the harsh reality is that flashes alone won't win championships. Tua has undeniable talent. His accuracy, field vision, and poise under certain circumstances are all noteworthy. But he comes with limitations that have been increasingly difficult to ignore. His size, durability concerns, and the inconsistency in big moments put the Dolphins in a precarious spot, especially when you consider the depth of talent emerging in next year's quarterback class. While Tua has been a central figure for Miami, the time may have come for the Dolphins to seriously evaluate whether their future is truly aligned with him or if exploring the next crop of quarterbacks is the smarter path forward. Looking at the 2023 season through a critical lens, there were moments where Tua showcased his ability to handle the starter's role. He played all 17 games, a remarkable achievement given his injury history, but the stat sheet and highlight reels don't tell the full story. Miami had a 9-3 record heading into December, positioning themselves as strong contenders for the AFC East. Yet, when the team needed him most, Tagovailoa failed to elevate his performance to match the stakes. Injuries ravaged the roster, the competition heated up, and ultimately the Dolphins choked away the division title. And here's the thing. When the quarterback is healthy, playing every snap, and the team falters in crucial games, the responsibility lands squarely on his shoulders. It's not just about statistics or completion percentages. It's about showing up when the lights are brightest and the margin for error is smallest. Unfortunately, Tua hasn't consistently delivered that type of leadership in high-pressure moments. Recent performances have only amplified these concerns. Last Sunday's loss to the New England Patriots perfectly encapsulated the ongoing issue. Miami found itself trailing late in the fourth quarter with the ball in their hands, a situation that demands a quarterback capable of orchestrating a comeback. Tagovailoa failed to rise to the occasion. It wasn't an isolated incident. There's a pattern here. While there have been standout performances, such as the 2022 victory over Baltimore and the 2023 wins against the Chargers and Cowboys, these bright spots are overshadowed by games where Tua came up short. Losses against the Kansas City Chiefs, Tennessee Titans, and Buffalo Bills highlight the repeated struggles to deliver in critical moments. When the Dolphins need a quarterback to lead a game-winning drive, there remains a nagging lack of confidence in Tagovailoa's ability to execute consistently. And in the NFL, lack of consistency at the quarterback position is a recipe for mediocrity, no matter how talented the supporting cast may be. This reality leads to a tough but unavoidable conclusion. The Dolphins have likely reached the ceiling of what they can achieve with Tua Tagovailoa at the helm. The next step should involve a hard look at the quarterbacks coming out in next April's NFL draft, a class that promises more potential and talent than last year's. Miami may be in a unique position to capitalize, and taking a quarterback doesn't necessarily mean an immediate benching. It could mean healthy competition. History provides a roadmap here. The San Diego Chargers famously used competition between Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers to elevate the position, and Miami could take a similar approach. Introducing a high-potential quarterback into the mix could ignite Tua, push him to new heights, or ultimately identify a long-term solution at the position. The key is foresight and courage, qualities that the Dolphins haven't always demonstrated in recent years. The 2025 quarterback class is loaded with intriguing options. Penn State's Drew Aller stands out as a potential cornerstone, offering the mobility, arm strength, and size that Miami arguably needs more than anything else. Other names such as Garrett Nussmeier and Lenoris Sellers bring first-round talent to the table, each with unique skill sets that could fit Miami's offense. The modern NFL favors quarterbacks who can extend plays, move in the pocket, and thrive under pressure, all areas where Tagovailoa has shown limitations. Taking a quarterback with these traits doesn't just address a position of need. It signals an organizational commitment to innovation, adaptation, and championship-level thinking. For Miami to truly compete at the highest level, they need to be willing to challenge the status quo, and that starts with the quarterback room. Reflecting on past decisions, The Dolphins have a history of missing opportunities at this position. Back in 2018, holding the 11th overall pick, they had the chance to move up slightly to secure a quarterback like Josh Allen. Instead, they passed, opting for stability over potential. This pattern repeats itself. The franchise has overlooked future stars like Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Matt Ryan in favor of short-term comfort. It's a philosophy that has kept Miami competitive at times, but never truly elite. Quarterback acquisition in the NFL isn't just about talent evaluation. It's about timing, aggression, and the willingness to make tough decisions. The Dolphins have had these chances before and faltered, but the landscape in 2025 may provide the perfect opportunity to break that cycle. The question isn't whether the talent exists, it does. The question is whether the decision-makers in Miami have the courage to act. The organization must confront a difficult reality. If they want to rise above mediocrity, Tua cannot be beyond challenge. Competition at quarterback is healthy, and in the modern NFL, even a talented player must constantly prove his worth. By bringing in a top prospect from next year's class, the Dolphins can create an environment of accountability and growth, pushing Tagovailoa to become the best version of himself. This isn't just about finding a replacement. It's about building a culture that refuses to settle for anything less than excellence. A franchise willing to make bold moves sends a message, not only to its players but to the entire league, that it is serious about contending. The alternative is stagnation, a slow decline into mediocrity that no fan wants to witness. It's also about fit. The Dolphins need a quarterback who can thrive in their system while also elevating it. Mobility, arm strength, size, and the ability to deliver under pressure are non-negotiables. Tua has shown flashes of these traits, but hasn't consistently demonstrated all of them simultaneously. Drew Aller, along with other potential prospects, offers a combination of these qualities in a way that could transform Miami's offense. A strategic acquisition in the draft would not only address immediate concerns, but also position the Dolphins for sustained success over the next decade. This is the type of long-term thinking that separates playoff teams from Super Bowl contenders, and it's a mindset the Dolphins need to adopt now, before another year slips away. In the end, the choice will define the trajectory of the franchise. Will the Dolphins cling to familiarity, or will they embrace change and risk uncomfortable decisions in pursuit of greatness? Will they challenge Tua Tagovailoa with an incoming prospect, or will they settle for incremental progress? The path forward is clear, even if the decision is difficult. For a team with championship aspirations, the quarterback position is never just about who starts on Sundays. It's about who gives the team its best chance to win consistently when it matters most. The Dolphins are at that juncture today. They can either repeat past mistakes or act decisively to build a true contender. The 2025 draft provides a rare window, and if Miami wants to signal a new era, it begins with courage, foresight, and a willingness to make the hard calls that separate contenders from pretenders. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? The Miami Dolphins are reportedly in the eye of a storm that could reshape the franchise in ways no fan expected. Sources close to the team are buzzing with whispers that owner Stephen Ross has delivered an ultimatum to head coach Mike McDaniel. No results, you're out. The tension, according to insiders, has been simmering for weeks, but the claim is that Ross is now no longer willing to wait. This isn't just another mid-season grumble or locker room disagreement. Those close to the situation suggest that Ross has a very clear threshold, and if McDaniel doesn't meet it, the consequences will be immediate. The Dolphins' season hasn't exactly gone as planned, and in the ultra-competitive AFC East, patience is thin, and the margin for error is practically non-existent. Rumors of an internal power struggle have been circulating for months, but if the whispers are true, we may be on the brink of one of the most dramatic coaching changes in recent NFL history. Sources indicate that Ross has been increasingly frustrated with the team's inconsistency. Miami's offense, which was supposed to be a machine under McDaniel's innovative system, has sputtered at critical moments, and the defense hasn't provided the kind of support that fans hoped for. While injuries have been cited as a factor, Ross reportedly feels that leadership at the top hasn't compensated adequately, and the feeling inside the Dolphins organization is that he's running out of patience. Team executives are allegedly worried about a potential shakeup and are bracing themselves for a volatile few weeks. The sense among insiders is that Ross is serious. This is not a warning or a hypothetical scenario. He's given a clear line, said one source close to the Dolphins, speaking on condition of anonymity. If the team doesn't deliver, McDaniel's time is over. The question that has fans and analysts talking is what exactly Ross is expecting. Is it simply a return to consistent wins, or is there a higher standard, such as a deep playoff run? According to the chatter around the league, Ross has been evaluating the Dolphins through a lens of both immediate results and long-term potential. McDaniel, while widely respected for his innovative offensive strategies and his work with younger players, has also faced criticism for in-game adjustments and defensive oversight. Some insiders suggest that Ross' ultimatum is less about one game or one loss and more about an overall trend. The team's performance has not aligned with the owner's expectations for growth and competitiveness in a division that has only become tougher in recent seasons. The Dolphins are reportedly weighing multiple scenarios internally, including the possibility of bringing in a high-profile replacement if McDaniel doesn't meet the expectations set forth by Ross. The atmosphere around the Dolphins' locker room, according to sources, is tense. Players have reportedly noticed a shift in tone from the front office. While McDaniel maintains a calm and collected presence publicly, there's speculation that behind closed doors, the coach is feeling the weight of the ultimatum. Assistants and coordinators are apparently also on high alert, aware that the stability of their positions may depend on the next few games. The ripple effect could extend beyond the coaching staff, potentially influencing player morale and on-field performance. Fans have already begun speculating on social media, with rumors of trades, firings, and potential candidates to replace McDaniel spreading like wildfire. The consensus among those following the team closely is that the next few weeks will be pivotal, not just for McDaniel, but for the Dolphins as an entire franchise. It's worth noting that Ross has a reputation for making bold decisions and taking risks when he believes the stakes are high. Historically, he's shown that he's willing to pivot quickly if he thinks it will benefit the team in the long run. The ultimatum to McDaniel appears to be in line with that pattern: decisive, unapologetic, and potentially transformative. Industry insiders say that this move is about asserting control and sending a message both to the coach and to the rest of the organization. Ross, known for his high expectations and intense involvement in team decisions, reportedly believes that Miami has the talent and resources to compete at a higher level, but needs leadership that can consistently translate potential into victories. The pressure cooker environment has created a buzz not only in Miami but across the league, as other teams are watching closely to see how a high-profile owner handles a potentially public and dramatic coaching confrontation. Among fans, the reaction is split. Some are defending McDaniel, pointing to injuries, roster issues, and the challenges of building a championship-caliber team in the modern NFL. Others, however, echo Ross' sentiment, arguing that in today's game, results are everything, and prolonged underperformance cannot be tolerated, regardless of circumstances. Social media has become a breeding ground for speculation, with some posts claiming that the ultimatum was delivered privately, but with the intensity of a public declaration. Analysts have also weighed in, suggesting that Miami's division rivals, including the Bills and Patriots, have set a high bar, and that Ross might genuinely believe a change is necessary to avoid falling behind permanently. The murmurs suggest that the next decision point is not far away, and every upcoming game is being viewed through the lens of this ultimatum, with each play potentially carrying far more weight than usual. In league circles, whispers are circulating about potential replacements should McDaniel be removed. Names of coordinators from successful teams, high-profile assistants, and even former head coaches have been floated, though nothing concrete has emerged. The speculation has added fuel to the fire, making it one of the most talked-about storylines in the NFL at the moment. Sources indicate that any decision would likely consider not only coaching acumen, but also a candidate's ability to manage personalities and navigate a franchise with high expectations and a demanding owner. This makes the situation particularly delicate, as a misstep could have long-term implications for both team performance and Ross' reputation. Meanwhile, insiders suggest that McDaniel is aware of the stakes and is reportedly doubling down on his efforts, trying to rally the team and implement adjustments to avoid the looming threat of dismissal. What's undeniable is that the Dolphins are at a crossroads. The ultimatum from Stephen Ross represents more than just a challenge to a head coach. It symbolizes a moment of reckoning for the organization. Every decision, every play, and every game in the near future carries added scrutiny. The rumor mill continues to churn, and while nothing has been officially confirmed, the intensity of the buzz suggests that Miami could be on the verge of a seismic shift. Whether McDaniel will rise to the occasion or fall victim to the pressures of high-stakes professional sports remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. The Dolphins' season is now defined not just by wins and losses, but by the tension-filled narrative of an owner pushing for immediate results. The coming weeks could redefine the trajectory of the franchise, and fans, analysts, and insiders alike will be watching closely as this high-stakes drama unfolds in real time. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.